What is up and what's happening, Auburn fans? Welcome into Auburn Primetime Live. I'm your guy, Blake Lane. Another crushing defeat for your Auburn Tigers. 23-17 in double overtime in Jordan-Hare Stadium. And another close performance from the Auburn Tigers. As the Auburn Tigers head coach always loves to say, we are close. Well, close isn't good enough. It only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and it doesn't count on the football field. And here we are at 3-4 overall, 0-4 in the SEC. Haven't won a game in a month. Where are we at? Where are we at with this program? Where are we at? Because I wake up on Sunday morning. And we still have a football coach. We still have a head coach in Hugh Freeze. And to me, that tells me that there just might be a buddy-buddy system going on in Auburn, Alabama. There just might be a buddy-buddy system going on in Auburn, Alabama. That he's your friend and you don't want to fire him because y'all are buddy-buddy. Let's be serious for a second. Penn State, they fired a man who was one play away from playing in a national title game last year. He went and he lost to UCLA, turned around, come home and lost to Northwestern, and they said, hey, guess what? You don't live up to the standards and expectations of this program. You're out of here. Because guess what? In Penn State's mind, losing to UCLA and Northwestern is inexcusable. And so guess what? They said, hey, even though you've been really, really close, guess what? Close doesn't count. Close doesn't count. James, you've been close, dog. But guess what? You just lost to two of the worst football teams in the country. Get to stepping. And here's Auburn. Well, we got 4 ranked teams in a row. We got 2 on the road, and then we get 2 at the crib. Huge opportunity. If we can just go 2-2 throughout this stretch. I'm guilty of saying it. You're guilty of saying it. Everybody's guilty of saying it. Even if we could just go 1-3. Just get one of them. And it'd make everything feel just a little better. Just a little better. Man, if you could get to 4-3 and the back end of this schedule. It doesn't happen. Auburn keeps finding ways to lose games. Remember, over the summer, I kept saying players win games late when it matters, okay? Players win games late when it matters, okay? Who all wanted to make a play? I can think of Amaris Williams wanting to step up and make a play. I could think of Keldrick Falk chewing tail in the huddle right before overtime saying, hey, let's go get it done. I feel like Keldrick Falk wanted to win a football game. Jay Crawford felt like he wanted to win a football game. I felt like Kayan Lee wanted to win a football game. Xavier Atkins, Perry Thompson. Those guys wanted to win football games last night. They wanted to win a football game last night. But at some point during the game, I don't know how you felt, but I felt like Auburn had checked out. I felt like Auburn, once again, you come out, You score. You're up. Jordan Hare's going crazy. You force Missouri to punt. Your defense, woo, boy, they're zooming to the football. They're flying around. They're putting a hat on a hat. And then you get your second possession, and the guy that you've criticized all year, including myself, drops one in a bucket to a 5-star receiver, a guy that we've said is one of the best to ever do it at Auburn, and he drops the football. Wide open touchdown, and he drops the football. He drops the football. So when I talk about players make plays, players have to step up and make plays to win games. That right there was the next play that was just the gutter for Auburn. That ripped them. Because you look at the demeanor of your quarterback, everybody on the sideline. When Cam dropped that football, I said, oh no. I said, can't happen. Can't happen. Because then the very next play, Jackson throws a pick. Jackson throws a pick. And at that point, I said, here it all goes. Here's where it starts going downhill. We're going to lose this football game. And guess what, folks? Your defense was put in another horrible situation, and somehow they only give up 3 points. Auburn's defense might be a top 10 defense in the country, in the nation. And you have so bad of an offense that you can't even win a game. Your offense is so bad that you can't even win a football game in the Southeastern Conference. It's terrible, man. It's terrible. It's terrible. And after that second possession, I just want to read off Auburn's possessions after that, where I say that drop was the one, it set in right there. That is a losing culture. It is a losing program right now. And there's just losing that oozes all on that sideline, in that building, everywhere. Everywhere. I'm going to get to that in a second, Brad. Everywhere. Because the play calling in overtime, he should have been fired before he got off the field. But we'll get into that in a second. Now, you held Missouri to a field goal. Let's go through it. Your last possession of the first quarter, you went 3 and out for -7 yards. All right. Missouri responds to take the lead with a touchdown. 9 plays, 65 yards. All right. Your next possession, your first possession of the second quarter, 3 plays, 8 yards. Punt. Well. Missouri turns the football over. They throw a pick. Here we go. There's a little life. Jordan Hare's rocking a little bit. Can Auburn move the football? 9 plays, 71 yards. You stall out, and you miss a field goal. Chip shot. Chip shot. Mizzou gets it into half. 10-7, you're down. All right. Here we go. Defense. You force a punt. Mizzou gets ball coming out of half. Make them punt. Great job. Here we go again. Can Auburn's offense do something? 8 plays, 60 yards. Missed field goal. Missed field goal, 38 yards. 38 yards. And to this, I just want to say, Alex, man, he's battled his tail off to get on the field. His health, he's got it right. We're excited to see him get back on the field. But if he can't get the job done, then we just need to start going for it the rest of the year. All right. Honestly, I'm tired of hearing the excuses and everything, not just with Alex, just the entire program. There's always an excuse. And if Alex is still battling his weight and staying healthy with what he has and how he's battled back, then we have to turn to a different direction. And we either have to just start going for it from here on out, or letting just Connor Gibbs have complete control of the kicking game. I say just go for it. I mean, you don't have nothing else to lose. You're not going to a good bowl game. Even if you do go to a bowl game, still got to beat Arkansas coming up here. So I don't even know if you're going to a bowl game. So you better just start going for it, in my opinion. So you miss a field goal coming out of the to start the second half. Once again, defense, you make Missouri punt. Well. Auburn, 12 plays, 86 yards. Tutter. All right. Tutter. Fourth quarter, punt. First possession for Auburn in the fourth quarter. You get down inside the 5-yard line to win the game, and you can't score a touchdown. You can't score a touchdown, and you have to kick a field goal. You make that field goal, 17-10. And at this point, you really knew we're going to find a way to lose this game. We're going to find a way to let Missouri score. We're going to go into overtime, or they're going to kick a field goal right before time runs out, and we're going to lose this game. So, 17-10. You force a punt, then you punt 3 plays, 2 yards. Wild. Touchdown, Missouri. They come in, they score. Then you go punt, and they get the ball, and they drive it down into field goal range. And Auburn made a couple of plays, and they throw a deep shot to try to get back into field goal range, and Jay Crawford made a hell of a play. And you go to overtime. This right here is where I think the straw, it's over with. Like, the play calling in overtime was brutal. You didn't give Cam one look. You didn't give uh, your best offensive weapon a look, and that's where I'm out. Like, man had over 100 yards receiving. Yes, I'm on him about the drop because I think it took the air out of Auburn once again, and they battled back and they found some life, and then in overtime, your head coach cost you. You didn't give him a look. Another great point here that I want to get to. Third and goal at the 1-yard line, set up in shotgun, high snap, goes backwards, kick, field goal, sums up everything. In EPW, we were actually honest, being 100% honest. We were lucky to hold on to that football because Jackson corralled it. They come down, they got hit at the mesh point, and we were extremely lucky to hold on to that ball. And we ended up getting points out of it. Now, the overtime play calling was awful, horrible, fireable offense. But the 3rd and 6 call in the second overtime, where you just hand it to Jeremiah Cobb and say, okay, well, we got 2 downs to get 6 yards. Why is the ball not going to Cam Coleman, Eric Singleton Jr., or Malcolm Simmons, or Perry Thompson? Perry Thompson had 4 catches for like 60 yards. I get Horatio Fields was he was Jackson's guy and everything. But last night, Perry Thompson showed us that he belonged. And why is the football not going to one of your playmakers on 3rd and 6? If it would have been 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3, then I'd have been like, okay, 3rd and 6. I don't know, man. That's questionable. That's questionable. And on fourth down, for Hugh to holler and scream at Jackson and say, "You have to throw the effing ball." Um, I saw Brooks Austin's tweet, and he said the nerve that Hugh has to say that. That's baffling. And the way I look at it is, well, if you have the nerve to say that, then what was the nerve for you to call that 3rd and 6 call? I don't get it. I don't get it. We suck, man. We suck. Let's call a spade a spade. We suck. We suck at everything we do. Coaching staff sucks. Players don't make plays to win games. Our poor defense, man. You feel so sorry for them. Administration sucks. I'll be honest, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it because I'm an Auburn fan and you want me to get on here and pump sunshine and get on here and say, oh man, well, Jackson played a great game last night. Hey, he didn't play good enough. All right. He didn't play good enough. Offensive line didn't play good enough. You're 0-4 in the Southeastern Conference. You don't know who else played 4 ranked games in a row and they won all 4? The University of Alabama. The standard. It's different. And I've been telling y'all that. And y'all get on here and you say, oh, Blake, you're too mean about Auburn. You're so negative about Auburn. No, I'm telling you the truth. The standard at the team across the state is to win, baby. Do whatever you got to do to win. I remember Ryan Williams last year. He wrote, kill everybody. Boy, they cooked him on the internet. Oh, ain't no kid should be wearing that on their eye black. That's wrong. He wasn't meaning to literally kill somebody. He was saying, anybody that steps in front of me to cover me, I'm about to kill you. Because I'm going to do anything and everything I got to do to win this game. They got dogs over there. Auburn's got puppies. Auburn's got puppies. The standard is different. There's a lot of losing in that program, a lot of losing inside those walls, a lot of losing inside the whole facility, around the facility. And everybody's like, oh, well, I don't want so-and-so to transfer. What? Man, if you don't want to be here, then get out. Because the dudes that are there right now are 0-4 in the SEC. So what you mean? I don't want so-and-so to transfer. Just a lot of losing going on. I'm surprised he still has a job. In my opinion, this is flat out pitiful that Hugh Freeze is still employed at this moment by Auburn University. It's embarrassing. Penn State, Florida, both having the balls to go in and fire their coach. Billy coached a game yesterday knowing that he was fired. We suck, man. The whole place sucks right now. There's just losing everywhere. I'm sick of it. Everybody's like, oh, man, you going to the game this weekend? I'm like, no, I'm not going to the game. I'm not going to pay $200 for a ticket to watch a bunch of losers. Let's get over here in the comments. Got me fired up on this Sunday. I was supposed to go live this morning, by the way. And we had to take my wife to the hospital this morning. So we've been doing all that this morning, and We just got back, so I'm a little late, but just know I'm gonna get on here and give you a reaction. I didn't want to. I was still ticked off, but I'm here. So War Damn Eagle as always, but here we are again, getting to talk about another close loss. Being an Auburn fan is exhausting. We're loyal, man. We're loyal. That's about all I can say. We are so close to a new head coach. That's right, Brett. Tell him, brother. I had a dude last night. He added me on Twitter. Can't remember his name. Not looking it up. He added me from like a tweet that I had in 2022 where I was like, "Come on, guys! Like Hugh Freeze would be a home run hire." I believed in Hugh Freeze, and the dude was like, "Oops," and I was like, "Hey, man." I believe in Hugh Freeze. I did. I believed in him 100%. I thought he would come in, turn Auburn's offense around. Man, I thought he would do an excellent job getting recruits here and things like that. And Auburn would compete at the level that I thought they should. All right. You could be in that conversation to possibly play for a national championship, every so many years. I'm not asking you to do it every year. I'm just asking you to do it a couple of years here and there. All right. And it didn't work out. So guess what? He's like, well, now you want to talk about firing Hugh Freeze. And I'm like, well, yeah. It's like, look, it's real life. Okay. This is real life. When you get hired at a job, they have expectations for you. Okay. They think, okay, this guy's going to work out. I think this guy's going to be a good guy, man. I think this is a great hire. And then he works there for like 3 years, and then he's like, man, I'm leaving. I'm going to the competitor across the street. All right. And they're like, what? Like, this guy wasn't the guy we thought he was. Or he just flat out don't do his job, and they're sitting there and they're like, man, we got to fire this guy. Like, man, we thought he was going to be pretty good. But turns out he's not that good. It's okay to do that. Like, I was wrong about Hugh. He brought the talent in there, but he couldn't do anything with it. But it's okay to be like that. It's okay to say, hey, I missed. It happens. Brett says we suck, Blake. We're not serious. I'm right there with you, brother. Blake, money people have fired him. Then make it public. Penn State, Florida, and now looks like FSU fired coaches. Auburn, nah. Yeah, Auburn, Dad, make it public then. Tired of sitting behind closed doors and just get it over with. Rip the Band-Aid off. We're going to get curb stomped at Arkansas and Vandy. Kent will be a toss-up, and the Iron Bowl will be over with 4 and 5 wins tops. Yeah. Yeah. I sat on here the other night and predicted you to beat Missouri, and I felt confident about it. And watching that game last night, and they gave Auburn every opportunity to win that game. Every opportunity to win that game. And you still couldn't do it. Auburn really should be 6-0 or 5-1. I'll give you 5-1 just because I think Texas A&M, when you go back and really look at that game, they kind of dominated us. There was plays to be made there, but that was really a game of just Texas A&M was a little bit better than we were that day. So the Oklahoma game, we had opportunities. We were up in the fourth quarter. Missouri, we were up in the fourth quarter. Georgia, that debacle happened. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Auburn, Dad. I'm with you. In OT, the Missouri player was talking smack during the coin toss, and our guy stood there emotionless and took it, and it showed in OT. Mike, I wanted to talk about it. And I'm glad you brought it up. Let me tell y'all something. Everybody this past week wanted to talk about a team captain quitting, leaving the team. All right. Well, Your captains, they go out to the coin toss. The people that you want to represent your football team, they go out. And they're out there. And Mizzou, they win the toss. Coin hits the ground. He says, hey, that MFer's heads. That MFer's heads. I'm being real with y'all real quick, okay? I ain't going to cut. I'm just being real with you. And the Auburn guys are standing there and they're looking at the coin and they're like, oh, man, this ain't good. And he said, hey, let's hurry up and go get this shit over with. He looked them right in the eyes and said, let's go get this shit over with. On the hot mic. The white cap has got his mic on and you can hear him say it. Let's go F them up. It's time to end this. And our guys stood there. The entire 30 seconds he was talking. They stood there and not one dude checked him. Not one dude said, hey, hey, let's go. Let's go then. Let's see what you got. No, Auburn stood there. Blank face. Didn't say a word. You let somebody clown you on your logo in your stadium. You let somebody clown you. That's the difference. A confident football team. I saw some people talking crap about Eli Drinkwitz last night, saying, oh, well, their football team, they look worse than Auburn. They won. They won. They won. Stop. They won. He has won 9 to 10 games since he has been at Mizzou. All right. He turned them from being the bottom, the dumpster fire down with Vandy, to being a top 20 ranked team every year. And you're on Twitter talking about how they played a worse game than Auburn for 3.5 quarters. Well, guess what? They won. They've lost one game this year to the number 4 team in the country, and you're on Twitter saying, oh, I wouldn't want Eli Drinkwitz to be the head coach at Auburn. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? No fight. That's a fact. Steve, what's up, brother? War Damn Eagle fam, sad says. Man, sad. It's embarrassing, is what it is. It's embarrassing. Embarrassing. That was the one that. That was the one that got us. That was the one that got us. The play calling and the demeanor of the head coach was bled into the players. All of this falls on Hugh and Hugh alone. 100%. And I'll tell you another thing is Auburn constantly looking for flags and things to get them out of bad situations. Hey, he didn't call it on Cam, but Hugh, I'm with you for losing it. But once again, the entire team, you look on the sidelines and it's like, power shutting off. They done pulled the grid. The whole sidelines, the meter just gone. Dead. That falls on the head coach, man. Like I said, too much losing in that locker room. Too much losing. War Damn Eagle fan. Appreciate you, Miss Karen, for being here. I know you are upset about Auburn, and you're upset about football season, and we all are. But I still thank you for coming back in here. Appreciate that, y'all. Appreciate that. I feel like I got called into the principal's office. It's rough, man. It's rough. That's on Cohen, who needs to go too. It's showing signs of weakness. I can tell you that. Thank you, Miss Karen. Thank you. He's had my man figured this was an appropriate time to pop back up. I'm 10K the hole on road trips this year, and after Saturday, great crowd. By the way, I think I'm done for the year. Ronnie, man, you're better than me for spending that much money on watching this team play. Um, Shout out to you for doing it though, man. I guess you're a better fan than me for spending that much. Okay, I've tried to tell you this was bad all along. There were signs, but I think you just had too much bug in you. Okay, my thing is like I kind of explained a minute ago. I saw what Hugh did at Ole Miss, the way he kind of brought them back from nothing, and he brought the talent in there. I guess that's what got me excited about Hugh is the recruiting, the talent, and him, winning football games at Ole Miss. Because like yesterday, Ole Miss will always be Ole Miss. They had a 9-point lead, and in the fourth quarter, and they lost to Georgia. And so I always looked at it as like, man, it's really hard to win games at Ole Miss, win meaningful games at Ole Miss, and Lane still hasn't won really anything meaningful, even though they're in the conversation every year. But I mean, it's still a long season, right? So with Hugh, I saw him go to Liberty and kind of revamp his career, and he got Malik Willis up there and got him drafted. And I was like, wow, man, if he come to Auburn, he would be able to get the players. They would win games, and they would be in the conversation every now and then. And it just didn't work out. It just didn't work out. And it happens. It happens. Thank you, EPW. Thank you. Yeah, this one right here, man. And I haven't really seen a whole lot of people talk about it online. I've seen a few, but just laying down with 18 seconds left. What Auburn have 2 timeouts left? Just laying down and just not even taking a shot, not even just saying, "Hey, let's try to get a PI downfield or something." You just took a knee and said, "Hey, we feel best in overtime." Uh, I don't know. I really don't. Only positives from last night that I remember were Perry's fantastic catches and Cobb's running. Perry's a good one. He really showed out last night, but I don't know how many of those are going to still, I don't know how many of them are still going to be here. At this point, I really don't care, to be honest. I just want to win, and whatever that takes, we got to do it. Softness in players comes directly from the coach. 100%. 100%. Eli would have us in the playoffs. Yeah, Eli's the dork. He is kind of cringy. I will say that. He did do that, but he's a good football coach, and uh, he says some weird things at times, and you know, but they win. They win. It's Mizzou, and they win. If it wasn't for a ball bouncing off dude's helmet, was Hugh really winning games at Ole Miss? The fact they were losing to Jacksonville State before like Hugh got there and stuff. They were losing to Jacksonville State at home and things like that, and he come in and brought talent there, um, and they were winning games. Like they were in the conversation. They were competitive in the SEC West. That's all I ever. When I think of Ole Miss football, I think of just mediocrity. That's about as good as they're ever going to get. Even when I see it, Ole Miss at number 5 in the AP poll, I'm like, that's way too high. Play calling was atrocious, especially in the overtime period. Freeze has to go. I don't know how he made it off the field last night, Bob. He should have gotten fired at the tunnel. Whoo! Bob brought up one that slipped my mind. Bob brought up one that slipped in my mind. Why is he even on the field? Why? I don't care who else you got to put out there. It can't be him. It can't be. Whatever you got to do, whoever else you got to put out there, do it. I'd rather go down with a walk on at this point. I don't want to see 15 touch the field for the rest of the year. Don't want to see it at all. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. It's bad. He can't block. He can't catch. He can't do anything. And I hate going at players. I really do. But we're 0-4 in the SEC. And it's been like this every year. It's time. And the fact that he still has a job at 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's sad. It's sad. Colorado State has fired Jay Norvell. Another firing happens. And Auburn is on the clock. Auburn is on the clock. So the best thing about this, even with Cam, Deuce, Riddick all probably gone, we're still AU. And I know the right leader, we can have the right players to make a quick turnaround. Great comment. Great comment. That is, whoever leaves, I still think you're going to get kids to come to Auburn. And it's an attractive spot, man. It's Southeastern Conference. There's a lot of Auburn history, tradition. That's why I'm not panicking about who leaves, and there's going to be kids leave, but we have to get a guy that can get those kids back in here, the talent back in here, but not only get the talent back in here, win football games. And I saw a quote about John Summerall. He said that we're a really sloppy football team, but sometimes we find ways to win football games, and it irks me to death. It makes me nauseous. It makes me nauseous that we're sloppy as all get out, but we do win football games, and that makes me nauseous. That's a winner, man. That's a guy that says, "Hey, we are playing terrible right now. Awful. But guess what? Somehow we're finding a way to win. I'm sick to my stomach because I don't want it to look like this anymore. But we're still finding ways to win, baby." Best head coaching jobs coming open ranked. 1 FSU, 2 UF, 3 LSU, and 4 AU. I would put LSU at 1. I would put LSU at 1, Florida at 2. I would put Penn State's up there. Forgot about Penn State. I put LSU at 1, Penn State at 2, Florida at 3, and FSU and Auburn you could kind of intertwine right there. Yep. Hugh should resign for health reasons and save us a little coin. That's what a man of integrity would do. Yeah, y'all. Okay. So another thing too is I had a guy say about my tweet the other day about, well, you're saying that what Hugh said was wrong about Damari, and he didn't live up to the expectations. And I'm like, yeah, it was wrong, man. It sounded terrible. Sounded terrible. And he said something along, no, people just don't want feelings to get hurt. Something along those lines. And I was like, that ain't got nothing to do with it, man. I couldn't care less about feelings. I'm saying he is a bad coach behind the microphone, and it makes his players feel a certain type of way. All right. It makes his players feel a certain type of way. What you can't say is you haven't lived up to the expectations and standards of this program when your own self hasn't lived up to the standards and expectations of this program. That's what I was saying. It's bad. It is truly bad of how bad he is behind a mic. But yeah, Brad, I'm with you. I don't think he resigns. I don't think he's going to do that. But Auburn's in a mess right now. Auburn's in a mess. Brett, I don't know if they fire him this year, but I mean, it's not looking good, man. They were super hyped up coming into the year. JD Piquel picked them to win the national championship. Some thought they would be in the college football playoff. Yeah, it's a mess down there. It's a mess. One thing about BK, man, I think he's a good coach. I just don't think he fits that atmosphere. I don't think he fits the LSU atmosphere. I think he's a good coach. Good. I'm not saying he's, some people think he's great. I think he's a good coach. I just don't think he fits that environment down there. I'm not sure. I think he's more like Notre Dame was a really good place for him. I think a Big Ten school would be a really good place for him, but the SEC might be a little bit too big for him. And that's why I think LSU could potentially, if they lose, man, if they go to Alabama and they get shellacked at Alabama, he might get fired. They might just eat the money because they got plenty of money. So, yeah. Look, I'm not going to keep y'all any longer on a Sunday, man. It's miserable around here. It's tough to be an Auburn fan right now. We got to get this basketball team rolling. Got to get them going so we can have some fun up until April, and hopefully we can go on a run in basketball because football just ain't got it right now. And hell, we might as well start baseball content for real, right? Might start doing some interviews with some players and stuff like that, and have some winning back on the podcast. Have some winning vibes in here. So to my normals, Ronnie, catching a live show, dog. Appreciate you. Brad, Bob, Brett, Karen, all of you, Mike, all of the people that are continuously in here, man. Appreciate y'all. And I'll be back Tuesday night. And we'll just see. Keep your phones available. Keep them open. Maybe you get a notification that Auburn has fired Hugh Freeze. But until then, everybody stay safe out there. And it's still Auburn, and it's still War Damn Eagle for me. So I'm out of here. Holler at y'all. Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central.